And here's all the pieces. So I had to cut it again. You are now watching the 2025 season of Farming with Duffy Ag. Welcome back to the channel. There was mistakes made yesterday. Things were going way too smooth for us. And as you see, this is all cockeyed because it started ripping itself apart right there. Due to the fact that it was pushing up and not out. Things went wrong. This picked up and then it wouldn't go any further because of all of it in the back there. And a lot of people have wrote that low pressure, high flow, low pressure is what these need. And yes, the 7520 doesn't. It's got pressure, doesn't have a ton of flow. That is a downside of it. But this was already broken. Don't worry. Well, that one broke more, I think. But at the end of the day, that cylinder is bent. And I've called around for some, and basically where we're at, I need to get this emptied so then I can pull that cylinder apart. Well, pull the rod out of it. And Leland had a good advice. He said, why don't you leave all of this in the back, because there's a lot going on here to get all of that off, all of this off. Why don't you leave that alone, pull the whole rod out, and then take it, get it machined, and put it back together. I'm glad I got Leland in my life. This, we're going to have to bend straight back down, which is pretty well bent. As you see, it's going all through there. So we're going to have to reinforce it. I believe it had some... It wasn't perfect when we started using it. You can chase some birds. But we got to make it a whole lot better. Yeah. We're going to weld some pieces on. This should be down here. And it was pushing up like this instead of out. Oh, some of this is my fault. Some of it's older stuff that's getting put back to use at 100%. So we're going to go ahead, dig this out with the Mini. And yeah. Okay, got most of it out. I might go over to the other side and actually dig this right here. That pulled across, but as you can see, it started bending the whole top piece right over, because that rod started bending, going the wrong way. Like I said, I don't know, some of this could have been self-inflicted, some of this is probably just fatigue. So we're gonna have to get that really straight, reinforce absolutely everything of it. So I wasn't gonna hurt myself. I went in and I cut the rod because the rod's junk. We got to replace the rod and then we'll be good. Leland gave me the idea of leaving this all intact, which smart thinking. So we're lifted up right now. I'm going to pull this forward, hopefully pull it forward, which will then allow me to get in a safe manner and get that out. Then we'll unbolt the front, slide that out, and take it apart. I was able to get it all out. It took a while. We had to pull it with a strap to get it the rest of the way. We got to get the cylinder figured out, and then we got to start fabrication. So the big thing is getting this bent back down, and then reinforcing all of that and making it so it doesn't ever flip up again like that. I'm thinking just a piece that comes down and goes right here, because that will keep it from ever punching up. But we're gonna go to Meridian's and see if they can hook us up. Here's all the pieces. So I had to cut it again to slide the end piece off, Had to cut the hose because there's no swivels, and it fought me even after we cut it. We got this, is it a scraper that goes on the outside? There's seals there, and then the whole rod. So it was getting to the point where, yeah, things probably weren't perfect. Okay, dropped off the ram, and they said, yep, we can fix it. It will be about a week. So that was the quickest timing anybody's told me. Everybody said a week and a half to 2 weeks probably. And I said, quicker the better, bud. And he said, well, it's all apart, so that won't be too bad. Well, yeah. Now we got to fix the actual pan part of it. Cylinders dropped off. Pickup truck decided it wanted to have the downpipe cracked. So we got new downpipes. Swapping the up pipes out again because I think they're starting to crack as well. So it's a day. Car, I have a bunch of stuff to do on the car. We're just waiting for an right side strut to get here. So the breakdowns this week have been real. Like real. But we are home. Zena's here. She's helping. And yeah, we've used the Mini to hold this up. So what we got to do here is we got to get this all bent back into place. Yeah. So I should have done this from the beginning, and I didn't even think about it. I thought it was correct. These support beams that are now support braces that are very bent, and we had to cut. Well, you can see how much of a distance that it was pushed up together. They were already bent, and they should not have been bent. So what we're gonna have to do is cut these out, put something stronger in to support the bottom there from twisting. And I think that was the problem. It was already twisted. Granted, underneath here, all these supports in between here need to be re-welded and reinforced, but I got it squared up. So when we got it, this was not even close to sitting in the right spot. And down on the ground, we had a big gap in between it. Things are actually square right now. We got to do a bunch of welding and stuff like that. But got a wheel that we are going to put right here. It'll come off here and it will bolt on, is what I'm thinking. And that will keep it from ever twisting like that again, because everything got pretty friggin' bad. Plus, I've never ever broke a roll pin. And as you see, we broke this roll pin. So I don't have any roll pins on hand. It's not something I usually have to mess with, so we got to do that. But I feel a whole lot better. We just need the cylinder back, or the ram back, and we got to do some welding. But that should make our lives. This needed a little bit of love, and clearly now I know more of the functionality and more of the weak spots. I'm sure if it was brand new and that was strong and everything was up to grade, we'd be okay, but we're not. So yeah, that is a whole lot better though. Alrighty, there were some people that some experts told me it's because I had too much pressure and that's what really bent everything. I'm sure it didn't help, but it took me a little bit. We wrapped it around our head. So how this functions is the cable picks it up just enough to actually open and then cut. And then from there, as the push out plate goes forward, it levers off of here and picks the rest of the way up. What went wrong instead was the door did not open properly in between. And yes, we got a little crack here now underneath that we got to re-weld, but that's from years and years, that dent there and stuff like that. So we might have to re-embrace that. So what had happened was the door didn't pick up, so it lodged itself. And exactly why the door didn't pick up is a mystery still, but I'm thinking it all just went wrong. Some fatigue metal, stuff like that. So as it tried to push out, instead of having a place to go, this found the easiest route, which would be up. So the whole back of this pan elevated up this way, and as it was going up, it took the piston with it because the piston was pushing, and the piston could only go so far, and it started to bend. So I'm sure when they were brand new, they were awesome and they worked 100% correct. But what we're going to end up doing, like I said previously, I'm getting a rundown. I had to wrap my head around it a little bit. I got 4-inch rollers, and they are going to go right here. On either side, we'll build a support going down to them. And that will keep it from ever being able to take the back side of this and flip it up. So, if there's anybody that knows more about these, tell me if that's going to work or not. Because we're kind of winging it. But that, that makes the most sense to me, to keep this pan in its exact spot. I should have noticed when I got it, like I said, these support brackets, the support arms were bent, so it wasn't sitting on the ground all the way, so it was already starting to fail itself. But I didn't know what I was looking at the time, and I talked to the gentleman that owns this, and he says, sounds like you got a plan. So Meridians is working on the rod itself, and then we just got to do some welding on this, and it will be pretty good. Some people have been very worked up about what we're doing with our bin site work. Unless you're going to come do it for me, I don't know why you'd be so worked up. But when this thing was running, it was very handy. We brought a little bit of dirt up here. Like, we got to bring dirt here, we got to bring dirt there, we got to bring dirt back up there. And people are like, oh, you load it, do this, do that. Well, if we're going to touch it like 8 or 9 different times, that's one thing. But I'd rather not load, push, do all sorts of stuff. Jump in and out of machines, get the Mac stuck. Yeah, this is much more efficient for what we're trying to do at this moment. Is it going to take some time? Absolutely. But alrighty, I figured I'd give a rundown of the exact problem that went on here. As you see, it's all frosted this morning, so we're gonna have another struggle of a day probably. Yesterday was a struggle of the day. You'll see in a future video, but appreciate you guys watching along. I'm excited to get this pan 100%. I think it will give us some opportunities in the future to move some things around as we continue to make this piece of property into something great for long term. Alrighty, see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.